Capitol Hill for the first major hearing from the House Oversight Committee, this featuring several fired Twitter executives. As a reminder, there was ample evidence of collusion in the 2020 election, but not between Trump and Russia. Instead, Twitter, Facebook, Google, other big tech companies were coordinating, collaborating with not only the DNC, the Biden campaign, but the upper echelon of your FBI, all united in one effort. They wanted to defeat Donald J. Trump and help elect Joe Biden. Now, the first example of this involves the very true Hunter Biden laptop story from hell in the New York Post. They broke the story weeks before the 2020 election.
I didn't realize that seeing Hunter Biden's D would help Trump win the presidency. I wonder why they never explained where that comes into the situation. But it's hilarious how much right-wingers want to see some nude pics of Hunter Biden. It's like, is there anything else you care about? Or is it just his D? I mean, it can't be that good.
You know, companies like Twitter, they were more than happy to tweet out and not tweet out that which was being told to them. Take a look.
Mr. Roth, did the government tell you that the Biden laptop story was fake?
No, sir, they did not.
Did they tell you it was hacked?
No, sir, they did not.
So the FBI didn't tell you that it was fake, didn't tell you that it was hacked. And Mr. Roth, did the story violate your policies?
In my judgment at the time, no, it did not.
Yeah, that's what you said. Said what I would propose, is you said it isn't clearly a violation of our hack materials policy, nor is it clearly a violation of anything else. So I think what a lot of people are wondering is if it didn't violate your policies and they didn't tell you it was fake, didn't tell you it was hacked, why'd you take it down?
The company made a decision that found that it did violate the policy.
I think you guys wanted to take it down. I think you guys got played by the FBI. And that's the scary part.
The FBI played Twitter executives to remove some nude pics from Twitter? Like that, I guess the FBI had nothing else to do. And the owner of Twitter wasn't just like, yeah, I want these removed because Biden's asking to have some nude pics of his son removed from Twitter. Also, you can't forget that this whole thing is like basically a nothing burger because Trump also, when as president at the time, had Twitter remove a bunch of stuff from Twitter because he didn't like it. Like somebody called him a pussy ass bitch and he wanted that removed. So why aren't they, grilling about that as well?
Now, Twitter, other big tech, they eagerly censored the New York Post, America's oldest newspaper, because of their blind rage against Donald Trump. Evidence that, in fact, they've been politicized in their own right, working with the FBI, having weekly meetings, pretty insane to even think about. They weren't capable of being fair, balanced, objective. Don't believe me? You decide.
Mr. Roth, did you write this tweet?
I regret the language that I used in some of my former tweets, but yes, I did post that.
And I'll read the tweet so it's in the record. Yes, that person in the pink hat is clearly a bigger threat to your brand of feminism than actual Nazis in the White House. Mr. Roth, do you think all conservatives are Nazis?
He might not, but I sure do. And we did have actual Nazis in the White House. If anybody remembers, Richard Spencer is an actual Nazi, and he was posting Nazi stuff while in the White House. And we have Donald Trump, president at the time, who is a Nazi and supported by a bunch of Nazis, and several other people. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene was anything at the time. I cannot remember. But there's a boatload of people in the White House that were or are Nazis.
Certainly not, sir.
What about the hundreds of people who worked in the Trump administration?
Certainly not.
All right, that was the former head of, quote, site integrity at Twitter, a person by the name of Yo Roth, calling Republicans Nazis on Twitter. At the very same time, Roth was participating in an effort to block and censor Republicans for just about anything, all while dangerous criminals, acted with impunity. Take a look at this.
You abuse the power of a large corporation, big tech, to censor Americans. And you want to know something? Guess what? I'm so glad that you're censored down. I'm so glad you've lost your jobs. You permanently banned my Twitter account, but you allowed child porn all over Twitter.
No, they didn't. They had a team to remove that kind of stuff, and it's a team that Elon Musk ended up removing. But it's funny how she sounds like a high school girl fighting with other people about stuff going on. It's like an owner of a company removing you for terms of service violations is their right to do. And the fact that she's like mad about that shows she doesn't actually think, or just at the moment doesn't really care about doesn't think that corporations should have, basically unlimited power, which most, right-wingers think. But, it's an era of companies going woke, so she has to fight against it.
Were my tweets. Okay, let's talk about them. I was talking about the deaths being reported on VAERS. By the way, that's on the CDC website. I was also saying that I didn't think any entity should enforce a non-FDA approved vaccine or mask.
No. I mean, the vaccines are approved, so what is she talking? She's mad that her tweets got removed for misinformation. I mean, she's nothing but a child, and the fact that she has power it's no true surprise. In the United States, Nazis are given power.
Guess what? A lot of people agreed with me, but you called that COVID misinformation. By the way, I'm a member of Congress and you're not. I also said...
Yeah, you're a member of Congress because a bunch of racist, ignorant people voted for you, and in my opinion, you should be removed for your ignorance and your racism. We need to start having a test of office where if you're a bigot or a racist, or, if you're not actually for, people's freedoms and stuff, there's no point for you being in office. I'm just tired of having people like her in office and doing nothing but regressing our society.
The controversial COVID-19 vaccines should not be forced on our military. You want to know something? Republicans stopped that in the NDAA.
Wow, that's hilarious. The military is required to get every other vaccine in order to have, people that don't get sick while they're on the battlefield or going to other places. So the idea of the military getting the COVID vaccine is somehow supposed to be bad when all these others are being given to them. I mean, if they didn't get these vaccines, our military would be getting sick going overseas, and we wouldn't be able to have, a powerful military presence like the right wing loves to have.
Now, while actual predators continue to operate on Twitter, the FBI was meeting weekly with big tech companies to supposedly protect them against so-called misinformation campaigns in the lead up to the 2020 election. The lead agent even wrote his thesis, apparently, about his theory that Donald Trump, in fact, did collude with Russia to beat Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. Something.
Yeah, he did. Reports prove that there was some collusion. And the lead one of the investigators who said there wasn't collusion, come to find out he was colluding with Russian oligarchs to interfere with the election. How funny is that?
That has been totally and completely debunked. And remember, the FBI had the laptop. They had it since 2019 in December. They also knew that Rudy Giuliani had a copy of it, which means they also knew the likelihood was high that it would come out. And they had plenty of time to authenticate it all themselves. Did they do it? Maybe. If so, they didn't tell us. According to Congresswoman, though, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, this is all ado about nothing. She called the Hunter Biden laptop scandal half fake and demanded we talk about more important things than our government colluding with big tech to influence an election and prevent people from getting the information that might, in fact, sway them in terms of who they want to vote for.
So, if more right-wingers saw Hunter Biden nude, they would, vote for Trump, but not seeing those nudes made them not want to vote for Trump? I don't understand their logic here, and, why they want to see this guy nude so much.
Information that's important. Take a look.
A whole hearing about a 24-hour hiccup in a right-wing political operation. That is why we are here right now. And it's just an abuse of public resources, an abuse of public time. We could be talking about healthcare. We could be talking about bringing down the cost of prescription drugs. We could be talking about abortion rights, civil rights, voting rights. But instead, we're talking about Hunter Biden's half-fake laptop story. I mean, this is an embarrassment.
All right, forget the noise. What Twitter did in the fall of 2020 for Joe Biden was the in-kind donation of in-kind donations so big that you could actually never measure the amount of dollars it would have cost somebody to buy that kind of information suppression. They censored a scandal that could have turned the entire election. They shut down accounts of prominent Republicans. They shadow banned conservatives at every opportunity. And in some cases, it appears they were working on behalf of the FBI directly. That's not just unethical. That would be illegal. Hey, Sean Hannity here.